Greetings, YouTube. This is Crockett36, and we are in a game. And so I played a game on Saturday that went really well. Now I'm going to tell you about a game which didn't go quite as planned. I'm the Axis in this one, and we all know the Axis don't tend to do as well. So what do we got here? We have the Americans in possession of Greater Germany. And it was actually force advantage that did it to me. I was missing artillery, and that's a problem. Now, what I've done is I've actually used what I'm calling the sort of twin pillars of Hercules strategy for the Axis. And what I've done is I've actually, and I did run out of some pieces. I've actually taken over India with the Germans and the Italians and the Japanese. All of Asia is in Japan's hands, including some of Russia. Japan is in possession of all of the Middle East and southern. We have some Japanese airplanes in the Caucasus. So some pretty impressive stuff. I've also got an 8-stack right next to Moscow, and if I can bid to go first, I have a good possibility of contesting the capital. Now the capital has a good number. That black is also a 3, so that's 5. I think that's 5 tanks in production. So we're going to contest that next turn, hopefully. On the other hand, Ukraine is in the hands of the Allies, and although there's a great and strong stack in Poland, that stack was intended to go to Greater Germany. So they are in our backfield. In addition to that, the Americans have taken over Morocco, and of course they're about to take over Algiers as well. Algeria. In addition to that, they have what we call doom stacks in A6, about to put in and support the German occupation of Berlin. There is a shorter stack, and this is where I might have some hope. Usually what you have is American troops, and they go and they're just in this line, just like at the airport, where you see the planes coming in one after the other. Well, you have troops being built in Eastern, moved to A9, moved A3, I think it is, and then finally end up in A6 and then Berlin. But there's a gap, and that's the gap right there. And if I can use the Italians 110, the 14th, the Italians that are being built and will spawn in Italy, and then the 84th and the men that are spawning in Poland in a minute. If I can use those, I might be able to continue the fight for Europe. Perhaps take back Berlin after a turn or two. Certainly not this turn. We do have a huge naval. I pulled back the Navy. I haven't really done much with the Navy. And so there is this stalemate of 3 huge stacks versus 1 gigantic stack. There is a massive gathering here of forces. They just have been sort of looking at each other and not really engaging. I don't think we actually did this battle because my son had to go. There is over here. I was hoping to surprise him. I flew some stacks in here and sort of stuck them among the ships. And they didn't see it for a while, but it was right there. So I have a huge stack that's able to go sort of anywhere, projecting power over quite a bit of the Pacific. So a lot of fun, good times, and that's my game. This is the most competitive I've seen. If I hadn't screwed up on Berlin, I would feel really good right now. But who can feel good when Berlin's in the hands of the enemy? As far as stress goes, we have the Chinese in labor and civil unrest. We have England and the Russians with dysfunctional infrastructure. And, of course, worst of all, we have the Germans in the loss of 3 movements because of supply line disruptions. And here's the present stress levels that are out there still waiting to be sort of the trigger pulled. Japan's at 6. Italy's at 2. America's got a couple of medals in 1. The Russians got 1, and the Great Britain is at 3 stress. All right. And that is my update on the game. A lot of fun. I love playing this game. It's always intense. And there is sort of something I'm really happy about is Larry's signature and signing of the game. All right. Thanks, guys. There's Berlin. There's Moscow. It's going to be quite a battle. Good times. Crockett 36 out.